I get confused by all the jargon. Absolute risk, relative risk and hazard ratios. Absolute and relative risk reduction. The number you need to treat.
The number needed to treat is known as NNT. It is the number of frogs you have to kiss to find a prince.
Yes. You derive it by inverting the absolute risk reduction.
The absolute risk reduction is the difference between two risks.
I'm lost already.
Relative risk is the same as risk ratio. It's the comparison of two risks cumulated over time. The hazard ratio is similar, but it compares two risks in an instantaneous time frame.
Okay.
The relative risk reduction expresses this as a proportion of the background risk.
I see. So why do researchers use relative risk?
The statistical tests are more efficient. The assumptions used in multivariate analysis hold better for relative risk.
But what is absolute risk?
It's the actual chance of something happening.
Give us an example.
Look at the graph. These are population data from Australia in the 1990s.
What's the y-axis?
The probability of having a coronary event cumulated over time.
The x-axis is age.
There are different curves for each sex.
I heard that an epidemiologist is someone who's been broken down by age and sex.
Thank you.
Let's read by age 75. For men, the risk is 50%. For women, it's close to 35%.
So you might say rates are 1/3 lower in women.
But that doesn't mean gender reassignment would lower your risk.
Exactly. But you can compare randomized treatment curves in this way.
Right. If I take a drug for a 30% relative risk reduction, then
the absolute benefit is different according to the background rate.
Yes. If your absolute risk is 50%, then a 30% relative reduction translates to an absolute reduction of 15%.
Invert it. Gives an NNT of 6 to 7.
What if you're young and only looking to the next 10 or 20 years?
By age 50, absolute risk is only 10%. Absolute reduction is therefore only 3% and NNT is 33.
so that's why treatment decisions are based on absolute risk.
Exactly. Relative risk says you should buy 2 lottery tickets and double your chances of winning.
An absolute risk?
Says you shouldn't buy one at all.